So VC is not a political channel. We focus on toys. Toys should be toys. They should be one of the least political things out there. However, the real world occasionally has this manner of coming in and impeding on the things that we love to do. So VC investigates things and reports on them. Gina Carano's firing has had an effect on Star Wars toys and collecting. And, well, we're going to talk about it. On February 10th, 2021, Lucasfilm confirmed that the Mandalorian star Gina Carano was, in fact, let go from Lucasfilm. She is no longer with them. The Mandalorian has become such a huge cultural phenomenon, and she's no longer involved with that. This, of course, due to the controversy she has stirred up following a series of social media posts over the past 6 months. And despite warnings, which she readily admits she received, she continued with the behavior, and Lucasfilm said, you gotta go. The next day on February 11th, yakface.com, which has a really, really good track record when it comes to Hasbro Star Wars, reported that Hasbro was canceling the sale of Gina Carano figures in the Vintage Collection and in the Black Series. Apparently, the Retro Collection figure, which is still coming later this year, would still be, in fact, coming. The next day on February 15th, The Hollywood Reporter ran this story and said that they reached out to Big Bad Toy Store, who told them that Hasbro basically couldn't make the figures anymore. And here's the quote. The Star Wars Black Series Cara Dune figure was released in 2020 and sold out not long after the inventory was received. Hasbro planned for another production run, and we were accepting pre-orders from that production run. Due to recent events, Hasbro was no longer approved to produce any more of this figure. So it clearly sounds by these remarks that this was a Lucasfilm decision. It wasn't a Hasbro thing. And we know that Big Bad is basically correct with what they're saying here. That first run of those figures about a year ago, I never found them on the pegs. I know a lot of collectors that did not find them. They were really hard to find. The Mandalorian was a huge smash hit. Hasbro was underprepared for its success. And basically, they started soliciting pre-orders for new figures about the middle to later last year. These rerun figures would be sold through GameStop, your fan specialty retailers like Big Bad Toy Store, Darkside Toys, Entertainment Earth. They weren't going to be going to retail. They were meant for online, basically. They were solicited initially back in September, with the very first batches due in January 2021. Again, I never saw that wave of the Vintage Collection when it was released. So when these pre-orders were going to be released and announced, I jumped on the opportunity to get them again. I had missed out, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to get some more of these figures, or buy some of them, because I didn't even have a loose Cara Dune in the Vintage Collection. And this was back in September. I right away, I pre-ordered those toys. That very same day that this Hollywood Reporter report comes out, February 15th, I get a cancellation notice from Darkside Toys saying, hey, the manufacturer has canceled production on this figure. We're not going to get them. Sorry. So I was like, darn. In a panic, I ran over to Entertainment Earth, who was still accepting pre-orders somehow or another. And I put in a pre-order for Cara Dune, fully believing that it was going to be canceled as well. Through some miracle, lo and behold, it shipped within a few days, and I got the figure. I then learned that GameStop was canceling pre-orders, while at the same time filling some of them, and even putting the figure on their website for sale. I don't know how that works. The result of all of this is that the Vintage Collection figure has been selling on eBay northwards of $60, and the Black Series figure has been selling for around $200, sometimes more. So I reached out to Hasbro's PR team to get some clarification on this, to get the full story, what was the truth behind all this, and regrettably I didn't hear back. So the point of this video is to talk about the ethics of canceling pre-orders. It's one thing when Walmart cancels pre-orders, and that's a whole mess. I've done a video on that. I don't think I need to do another one. This is very well documented at this point, and especially lately with the Vintage Collection, canceling pre-orders, listing them the next day at triple the price, not by a third party, but by Walmart. And the whole thing is just a disaster. With regards to Cara Dune, The wounds are self-inflicted. So while it seems that these cancellations in this case were done by Lucasfilm rather than Hasbro, we don't know the full story. That's where, official comment would really help to, illuminate the full spectrum of whatever it is that's going on. I mean, obviously Hasbro was in the middle of producing more batches of these figures. They were filling pre-orders. They had more that were coming in September. Several of these sites were placing pre-orders for the ones that were going to come later in the year. But that's done with. And, a lot of people got cancellation notices. There's a lot of angry collectors. There's disappointed fans. And, that's completely understandable. So what's the problem with Cara Dune figures? Is Lucasfilm just trying to put the brakes on anything and everything Gina Carano? Yeah, it seems like it. Could they be trying to avoid PR nightmares where you have a story of somebody's kid in the toy aisle coming across a figure of Gina Carano and a parent gets really, really upset and makes a whole stink out of it? It's possible. But again, these figures were not going to retail. They were going to these specialty fan channels. They were going to GameStop. They were not going to be on the pegs at Target. They were going to be shipped out to customers online. So seemingly this is a matter of ethics, but if you're going to talk about ethics, you have Lucasfilm's set of ethics on this side saying, hey, this person is somebody we can't produce merchandise for. On the other hand, you have the ethics of canceling pre-orders for a customer base who has basically been throwing their money at you for the past 40 plus years. What about the ethics in that? When a customer places a pre-order, it is being done so in good faith. Good faith that a retailer will fulfill the pre-ordered goods. Good faith that the company will hold up their end of the agreement with the retailer. When a company orders the cancellation of pre-orders, they're basically saying your business is not important. We don't need your pre-orders. We don't need your money. So why should they keep ordering your stuff? Why should they keep coming back to these pre-orders, which are already, again, were a huge mess and have been for a long time with Walmart and through other means as well. And this obviously just really, really, really hurts things for everybody involved. The customer, the retailers, Dorkside Toys, Entertainment Earth, etc., Hasbro. So yeah, fans are upset. These online retailers should be upset too. They had the rug pulled out from underneath them, and they're taking the brunt of the anger and frustration that people are feeling because, people don't know the full story. And Hasbro should be upset as well, honestly. This was something that they were paying to license from Lucasfilm, and they were paying those exorbitant licensing rates to Lucasfilm, and then they were taking pre-orders because they didn't meet demand the first time around. And for Lucasfilm to say, sorry, you can't do this anymore, they should be upset. What we really should be talking about here is what is the bigger ethical concern? Lucasfilm selling figures of Gina Carano to consenting adults just trying to add a figure to their collection, or a major corporation making purchasing decisions on behalf of a customer? If a customer is upset about Gina Carano, they can just cancel their pre-order. Somebody else will buy it. But going as far as canceling production of a pre-ordered item based on one character for so many people, and in the process harming the relationships that you maintain with your licensees and with your retail partners, and in the process also tarnishing your own reputation, accomplishes what exactly? Thank you.